So he hurt his throwing hand, knee hurt, foot hurt. Gabe Davis went out. Shavers is out. His leading receiver is Shakir. I mean, it's an uphill battle. I mean, everybody, call him Superman. He definitely going to have to be Superman this week.
You're going to have to put Josh Allen off of the field to have somewhat of an impact. And that Denver defense does have the ability to shut Josh Allen down, but at the same time, Josh Allen can put up points on anybody. So it's going to require Bo Nix utilizing his legs. It's going to require the Denver having a well-balanced offense, running, passing game. And Sean Payton, being the coach that he is going to take the chance when he needs to take that chance, which again should secure the victory for the Broncos and send them to the AFC title game. How, Griff, do Purdy, CMC, Shanahan with his pads on, because he may have to come and run a play or two, go into the 12th man and outsmart Coach McDonald's version of the Legion of Boom in 2025 and steal this game from the heavily favored Seahawks?
You already know Seattle is going to come back in with the same recipe they done had the whole season. Apply as much pressure as they can to Purdy in the running game. Purdy can pick you apart, man. But that Seattle defense for me is the reason why Seattle will win. And like you said, Shanahan might have to come in and run a couple of plays because they just lost George Kittle last week. They might even have to even pull some season ticket holders to come play. That Seattle defense is something serious. And plus, they coming in probably as healthy as they've been all season.
Coach McDonald is a defensive guru. Now, granted, he does not have the playoff experience as a head coach as compared to Kyle Shanahan. So Kyle Shanahan does have that coaching edge there. But on the field, players over plays, bro. Players over plays. And this is how Seattle is going to win this game. This is the most exciting game of the weekend for me. I know you don't have that much faith in Caleb and them.
In this particular type of weather, and Stafford do what he do when he need to do, Chicago can't afford to come from behind on this team. They can do it on a couple of other teams, but this one right here, turnovers, definitely be a possibility, especially if it's snowing up there. I got the Rams, man. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I think if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And this week, all them late game heroics ain't going to happen this week. That's all I'm saying. And so, yeah, it's going to probably be a close game. It's probably going to be a turnover, but the turnover is going to be on the Bears side, not the Rams side.
We have the two best defenses, in my opinion, showing up to collide to see which defense is actually better than the other. CJ Stroud tried to mess it up last week by turning the ball over 5 times. Luckily, his team was able to recover 3 of those 5 turnovers.
The only chance the Texans got is their defense. And I know Mike is on here right now, and I know he's a Texans fan and all that stuff. But the reason why I just have no faith in the Texans. If we're talking about two teams, both of them got great defenses. I get an edge to the offense to the Patriots. The Patriots' offense is much better. Let me tell you something. Field goals will not win this game. The Texans going to need 2 scores from their defense, just like they needed it last week against the Steelers. They're going to need the same thing this time to win because they do not expect the offense to do much on the Texans side. And I'm calling it like it is.
Wow. The only chance they got is their defense.
The defense. I know y'all got y'all 100-yard game last week, man, and I commend y'all, but it ain't happening this week. I need Michael Irvin to put his belt back on. Belt to nothing this week. I want to see Michael Irvin back over there, sad face. I want to see a new national championship crown that has not done it. I want to see Indiana win, man.
Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026. Bonsoir, comment ça va? I'm Drew, and welcome to the Divisional Round recap show of the National Football League and, of course, the National Championship. This was the intro or the discussion that Griff and I had on Friday night as it pertains to these games and the prognostication that either he or I had based on for each one of these games based off of how that team was coming into this game. And Griff was spot on a couple of them, especially in that Houston Texans New England Patriots game. We got to talk about each one of those games. It was a great weekend. We opened the weekend with an overtime playoff game with the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. And we closed the weekend with an overtime game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears. Smashed in between that was a blowout, and another game that was riddled with turnovers that was ultimately the difference maker. And of course, the natty, the natty, the natty. This was a game that was at the fingertips of both teams. And they both had their chances to win that championship, but ultimately we'll find out which team was the best team, Griff, and whether or not the better team won on the field last night. Shout out to everybody in the chat. How y'all doing on this fine Tuesday evening? Appreciate y'all joining us wherever you are in this world. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your Tuesday evening to spend with Griff and I as we recap this past weekend's big football action in the NFL and the national championship game from last night. So looking forward to the engagement tonight. What up, Troy? We see you in the chat already, providing your 3 cents. You're the only one that don't give 2 cents. You give all 3 of yours. Looking forward to it. Griff, how was your weekend, man? I see you back at the house. How was the trip in Kentucky?
Oh man, it was outstanding, man. Got an opportunity to be a keynote speaker at an event where they was giving out scholarships to young men and women, but they had a whole bunch of different financial workshops as well, man. And truly enjoyed myself, and even was able to sell some of those books, brother. So it was a great weekend, plus a great weekend of football. And man, when I tell you, the way Jordan just did that video, you'd think I had the script of all the games, baby. You think I had the script, man? Look, you was laughing at me.
You were spot on a lot of them, man.
I mean, you was laughing at me when I said, "Hey, the defense is gonna have to put them points up." What I tell you.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about that, and I actually am looking forward to that conversation about that specific game. But let us begin where we left off last night with the national championship game between the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers. The Cinderella story, right? Indiana, a team that has had the worst Division I record in the history of college football. I did not know that until yesterday, Griff. The worst history in the Division I history. What Coach Signetti has done in 2 short years has not only flipped college football on its head, but any team that has legacy behind it cannot rely on legacy anymore going forward. He has provided not only the blueprint, but the formula to ensure that you can be a one and done in college football as you are in college basketball. You can build a team in a year and take that team to a college football playoffs, especially with the expansion of said college football playoffs in 2026. Griff, last night was a game where 2 teams had many opportunities to win this game. I'll talk about a couple of opportunities that Miami blew, where they not only were competing for their 6th natty, but their defense held their end of the bargain up. And it was the offense and special teams, at least in my opinion, that came up short many, many times when they could have had a difference in the final score. But they didn't. Did Indiana win this game in your opinion, or did Miami allow opportunity to slip through their fingers and gave away a national championship when they were just as good as the team on the opposite side of the field? How did Indiana win this game for you?
Coaching. Coaching won this game, and I would say this: you talk about Miami's offense, but their defense failed them too. Because they had several opportunities to get off the field, and they got penalties that extended plays for Indiana to keep drives going. A couple of them, I mean, right after they just sacked, because they sacked that kid they sacked Mendoza 3 times. I remember one of the penalties they got, it was on the 3rd and 15, giving them a first down, extending the drive. So I just and then lack of discipline, man. I mean, it was a couple of times that Miami didn't get hit because like that cheap shot that they hit on Mendoza at the end could have easily been another 15-yard penalty. So I think it was coaching.
Yeah,
Miami probably was a good team, but at the end of the day, this is where good coaching come into play, and Indiana was the more disciplined team.
that right there, the more disciplined team. And for the first half, even though they were outweighed physically on the offensive and defensive line, they were moving Miami's offense and defensive line off the ball, which what led to Miami not being able to put a point up by halftime. Many different reasons as to why Miami did not win this game, in my opinion. Troy, you're absolutely right. Tony is a Tyreek Hill in the making with how he can be utilized in that offense, especially being that he's a true freshman. So his next couple of years at the University of Miami are going to be a phenomenal one if he stays healthy. Now, why Miami lost this game, in my opinion, the block punt, which led to a touchdown, where the blocker literally allowed Kamara to come in and just walk by him and block it. Like, what are we doing? And then, of
They
course,
weren't even going. They weren't even going for a block punt.
I know
That's
he
the
just
crazy part. They weren't
literally
even
let him
going for it.
go. You know, you gave them a gift there. Carson Beck, and even with all of the mistakes that Miami had, that last drive, they were driving to win the game. They still had a shot. Carson Beck did not come through in the biggest moment of his collegiate career. He did not have that game-winning drive in the national championship with 2 minutes left. You had no excuse. You created the turnover. You threw the interception. So,
In fairness, the receiver did say he ran the wrong route. That was his fault.
I understand.
I know Beck gonna take the heat for it because he's the quarterback and rightfully so. But again, I have to give it when these quarterbacks get beat up because receivers not doing what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I just have to put that out there.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And on that specific play, but there are many other opportunities, especially in the first half, that Miami was not running the calls that they should have. You were not using
They
Fletcher.
should have been running the ball.
Yeah, you should not. You
I'm
should have been
sorry.
using
Look,
Fletcher.
who's scoring? They played Indiana. They played right in the Indiana hands. I don't care what. So what? They stopped Fletcher a couple of times up front, but where do they get all their points from? Fletcher running the ball.
Yeah, yeah. So
I told you on Friday they weren't gonna win this game because of Carson Beck. I said the defense and the running game. Those are exact words that I said. Trying to put it on Carson Beck, the moment too big for him. I already knew it was too big for him. So again, that's coaching.
I don't think the moment is too big for Carson Beck per se. I don't think he shies away from the big stage. He's been on the big stage twice here in the past couple of years. Lost it in 2024 while getting injured. So you can't really lay that at his feet. And he played within himself in this game. All right. So I'm not sitting here trying to pile on Carson Beck because he had a phenomenal season. The Miami Hurricanes had a phenomenal season. They made it to the national championship game and were just a couple of plays away from getting their sixth national championship. And they played against an undefeated 15-0, now 16-0 Indiana Hoosiers. And again, what Coach Cignetti has done at the Indiana University Hoosiers, ladies and gentlemen, is mind-blowing. Because if you are a student of college football and know the history behind college football, you can't build a program in a couple of years to where you're nationally competitive, especially against powerhouse teams like the SEC brings, especially against powerhouse teams like Ohio State, Michigan, traditionally Penn State, USC, Notre Dame. We're talking teams that have 100-year history of winning. Coach Cignetti has done in 2 years, coming from James Madison University, just like Primetime did when he left Jackson State, Coach Cignetti brought his own groceries with him from James Madison University. Now, granted, a lot of these players are fourth, fifth, and sixth-year players. That lets you know what the formula is to win in college football. It's not necessarily the five-star athlete that has the advantages that Griff went over a couple of weeks ago. It's about approach, a philosophy that everybody buys into. And if you adopt and embody the way that your coach wants you to show up each and every day, you're going to have success. He has created a formula that is not only going to shake up the game, but is going to be a significant contributing factor as to how NIL it continues to evolve. With the expansion of the college football playoffs going into 2026, possibly 16 teams at a minimum, possibly 24 at some point in the near future, because it's the Big Ten and the SEC kind of driving this train. And the SEC wants a 16-team playoff, and the Big Ten wants a 24-team playoff. So we're going to get to that 24-team playoff at some point, which we'll talk about later. But congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. Phenomenal year, 16-0. The last time that happened, Griff, that was in 1894, I believe, with Yale, where it was only them and two other teams playing. So this is something that a 30 for 30 is definitely in the making. A movie for that team is definitely in the making because it is movie worthy. Now, I'm giving them all of the flowers they so rightfully deserve. Started the year a little bit under the radar, right? Because nobody believed that Cignetti could kind of repeat the success they had last year. And they did it, 16-0. Not the best team in college football history, not the second best team in college football history, not even the top 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, in my opinion. But they had one of the best seasons in college football history. And for that, I give them a standing ovation to the entire state of Indiana, the Hoosier State. 126 years of playing football. This is their first national championship. What does this mean for college football as we put a bow on the 2025 season, Griff? A lot of things happen, man. A lot of things happen in this college football season where you came into the season with Texas and Ohio State leading it off. That very first weekend, we had a whole boatload of big games. We had some shockers. You know better than us what kind of shockers coming out of the gate can do for you as a team, and how this season unfolded for all of the big name teams going into this 12-team playoff. How do you think the 2025 season concluded, benefited the game, and how will it continue to evolve college football going into 2026?
I see a lot of coaches reassessing how they select players. If you look at the makeup of Coach Cignetti and how he did Indiana, he got a lot of experienced players on his team. I think I sent something to y'all earlier, you and Troy earlier, about how Coach Saban said, them going out there looking for these 5-star and 4-star players is going to make coaches start to reassess, because you're going to have a lot of players staying in the league now compared to how they used to go back to go to the NFL the minute they was able to go. Now they stand. So now I need to go get experienced players. I need to go dip into some of these smaller schools where guys can establish themselves. They got a little bit, because again, in the big scheme of things, he had an experienced team. He didn't have a whole bunch. He didn't have 4 stars and 5 stars, but he had guys that's been proven. They didn't came through the trenches and made it up that way, and they believe in his system and his process. Like Coach Saban said, the people that's giving the stars ain't even coaches. And so I think a lot of other people are going to reevaluate the way they go select people to come to their schools.
You're absolutely correct, sir. And we say it all the time. Effort beats talent 99.999% of the time. And these are effort players. These are 21, 22, 23, 24-year-old young men who have not only been playing football all the way since Pee Wee League, but have been in the collegiate system and understand that we are here to actually do the job and not get caught up in the glitz and the glamour. You said they want to stay in college. Now, we've both raised very fine young Americans, young Black Americans. And between the ages of 13 to 17, they was like, man, I cannot wait till I turn 18 so I can get up out this house, get out of my own and begin to live my life by my rules until 18 comes. And then they realize that a whole lot of responsibility comes with living by my rules. And they fight to come back home sometimes. That's what these college football players are doing because it's more beneficial for them personally, financially, educationally, maturity, and professionally to get that fourth, fifth, sometimes even sixth, Carson Beck, year of eligibility because it benefits them. Because we know throwing a key position player from college at 20, 21 years old into the NFL, he is going to struggle. The only one that you kind of had hopes for that was not going to encounter that kind of problem or struggle because of his physical talents was Travis Hunter. But being the type of player that he is, you knew that injury was kind of right around the corner because of his physical build. But other players coming into the league at that age tend to struggle far more often than they have success early on in their career, which for them, unfortunately, could cut their career short completely. By the age of 24, they're out the league. But if I'm still in college, building my brand, building my skill set, and hopefully on a team that's competing for a national championship, so I have that visibility, then I'm setting myself up for success when I get to the NFL, which is why the Oregon quarterback went back to school for another year instead of entering the draft and being at the latest or at the least the number 2 quarterback off the board, which means that's a guaranteed $40 million signing bonus. Guaranteed. He chose to go back to school for another year than to take that contract for whatever team that was going to draft him, whatever team that picked that quarterback. That was $40 million that he left on the table. So what Cignetti has done, experience over that 5-star talent that's 18, 19, 20, that's still developing. And getting these JUCO guys, getting these state college guys, these Division II and Division III guys to come into your program early in the transfer portal process, since the window is now closed, then 2026 is going to be even wilder than 2025. I've come to the realization, Griff, the SEC is no longer the big dog in the yard, bro. There is no big dog in the yard. That's the fun of college football, and we're about to see the Wild Wild West, at least for the next 2 or 3 years before we get some regulations on NIL.
Before they put some regulations on them, man. Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch, man.
It is. But I heard Coach Saban said, don't nobody go up. The only players that go up north, they making a lot of money. Don't nobody go up north unless they get paid. So you bring up some good points, but on the flip side of it too is a lot of them, everybody ain't a first rounder. And so why do I need to go to the league making league minimum when I can stay here in college and still be making more, stacking my cheese up, and we won't see as many players with these 6-7 years. Most of them still part of the COVID area, unless another COVID happened. That's how a lot of them got these exemptions. But
True.
the Carson Becks is gonna be few and far between here. But hey, man, we've been on this long enough, man. Hey, Indiana, congratulations, man. Let's get to these shellackings from this weekend.
Yes, sir, bro. College football, phenomenal year. Congratulations one more time to the only undefeated team, the only 16-0 team in recent history, the Indiana Hoosiers. See you in 2026. Now, on to the big guys. Man, the divisional round had some exciting games. We expected some exciting games this weekend. Started off Saturday afternoon with the Bills and the Denver Broncos. The conversation on Friday night was, well, whether or not Josh Allen can go into Denver and put on that imaginary Superman cape and lead his Bills team to a victory over the number one seeded Denver Broncos at their house with a top 5 level defense, with a Super Bowl winning coach in Sean Payton that is extremely aggressive, both on the offensive side and on the defensive approach. So you knew that Denver was coming to play, even though they were well rested. People believed, somebody on this show believed, that Josh Allen could lead his team into Denver and knock off Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. We also talked about on Friday.
Who was that? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Who on this show? Was it me?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I know you picked.
I mean, we seen the highlight. You asked me a question, but I picked the Broncos in this game.
Do you not remember saying that there was a script involved and Josh Allen was to make it to the AFC title game?
I talked about scripts, but I also remember you asked me the question about Superman and stuff, and I talked about that. You asked me how they could win. But I had the Broncos in this game because I said he just don't have. I mean, it's just too many injuries over there.
Yeah, well,
but if you want to put it on me, I take it.
Huh?
I said if you want to put it on me, I say I did, but I think I would.
I'm talking about whether there are injuries and then there are self-inflicting injuries. Everybody is hurt, right? Everybody is nicked up when we get to the divisional round. But the 4 turnovers by the super quarterback.
5. They had 5 turnovers.
5, my bad. 5.
Three interceptions and 2 fumbles.
So let's have this conversation real quick, right? The national media give other quarterbacks the business when they come up short in the playoffs. Josh Allen, for the most part, throughout his playoff career, has performed individually very well in the playoffs, but has never gotten over that hump. No matter it be because of the defense, no matter it be because Mahomes is on the other side, no matter it be because we got injuries on our team, whatever the reason, he has never been able to get over the hump. But yet, a whole lot of people who consider themselves to be football experts believe that this young man is the best football player in the league. If at some point you are tagged with that label, and he is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, not the best quarterback in the league, not even the best player in the league. But if he's unable to continue to win the big one, when are they going to accept that, hey, it's not necessarily everybody else's fault if I'm the one driving this train? I am the one with the controller in my hand. I am the one behind the steering wheel. At some point, it has to fall on my shoulders, and turning the ball over multiple times in the biggest game of the year kind of reinforces the point that everybody, or the opinion that everybody had about him, not everybody, most people who are not Josh Allen sycophants had about him 2 short years ago when he was Mr. Turnover King. We ain't forgot that title, calling him 30 for 30 number 2. He just showed himself Was it a lapse, just a bad game, or Josh Allen get a little bit too much love and not enough fair criticism or enough fair critiquing? What you think, bro?
Man, do you really want me to answer that question, bro?
Yes, I do.
You already know why he get the love.
You are the one who picked him as being the
MVP. Why he get the love. Man, you already know why he get the love that he get, and we already know what the narrative is. I mean, again, I can use my quarterback. My quarterback can make the same exact errors that Josh Allen make, and guess what? He gonna get dragged through the coals, and we already know that. He had 2 interceptions this game. I have to give the fact that he did wield his team. He wielded his team to this point. You got to have that hero. Everybody got to have a hero. And I don't want to make this political. I don't want to make this about race or nothing like that, but it is. I'm just going to keep it real, man. And Josh Allen is a good ball player. But you know what? Josh Allen will never get the heat that Lamar Jackson or a Dakota Prescott going to get. I don't care how many turnovers he get. And you know what? He going to have to do something really bad for them to turn on him. That's all I'm going to say. Because they're gonna always, because they still. I mean, I looked at all the pundits today, and they was talking about, hey, he's still gonna get his, da da da. And nobody had anything bad to say. They all had good stuff to say, even in this loss, and that's wild. So let that be Dak, let that be Lamar. Matter of fact, after the Ravens lost, Lamar got the business. Dak had one of the best seasons in his career, still got the business.
Okay.
So,
one, Lamar deserved to get the business, all right, because he, being the best player on the field, every time he steps on the field, needs to lead a team more than to 8 wins. 2,
I agree.
Dakota Wayne Prescott deserved to get the business because he led one of the top 3 offenses in the National Football League, but only was able to get 7 victories. 3, Josh Allen does get the equal treatment or the favorable treatment that he receives because of his melanemic status. We know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Josh Allen not being able to get over the daggone hump for all of the physical.
Hey, this is supposed to be This is supposed to be his year. He didn't have Lamar. He didn't have Joe Burrows. He didn't have Patrick Mahomes. I will give this is one thing I will say, and I know you said, hey, everybody got injuries and stuff like that. I will still say these last 2 years, I'm shocked that Buffalo made it as far as they did with their roster. Because really, it was only Josh. They whole offense basically was Josh Allen and James Cook. Basically, that's it. I mean, if you go look at the numbers, Buffalo had the better numbers. They held the ball longer. The turnovers is where you cannot win games. We talk about it. I don't care how good your team is. You turn the ball over 5 times, and he wasn't all of those 5 turnovers. Mm-hmm. But still, it's a team sport. He the captain of the team. He gonna get the heat rounds for it. But it's hard to beat a team that's got a defense as good as them, and you get a ball to them 5 times.
So check this out, right? Their success over the past couple of years because of the limited prime time playmakers, as you would say. Let us not forget what the division that was in, the AFC East, which sucked for the past couple of years. New England just showed up to the party day before yesterday. So it wasn't like Josh Allen really had to every weekend. Now, what was that other point that you were making? The Denver Broncos were actually the number 1 seed. They were supposed to win this game. So
No, I didn't say that. Man, you put words in my mouth today, Drew.
I'm like, no.
We're going to have to start. Hey, Jordan, we're going to have to start recording all this stuff. Jordan, hey, Drew just starting to put words in my mouth. But go ahead, man.
I haven't even said what I was going to say yet. Hey, you say I'm putting words in your mouth.
I ain't said nothing about the Denver Broncos being the number 1 seed or none of that.
I said it.
Okay.
They were supposed to win the game. We're talking about the reasons that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills lost, but we are forgetting that the Denver Broncos were the number 1 seed, and they were supposed to win this game. So the 5 turnovers Got it. Definitely contributed. Major factor, most likely the leading factor. But I can also flip it on his head and say, well, if not for, I gave you 5 and I still put up 30 on a top 5 defense. So I did everything that I could. I overextended myself if I'm Josh Allen, and I let my team down by going further than I thought I was physically able to take us. And it happens when you take chances. If I was a defender of Josh Allen, but I'm not sitting here saying that I am. The Buffalo Bills, did McDermott deserve to be fired? That one came out of left field before we move on to the next game. Did McDermott deserve to be fired? Or is it, we gave you a chance, bro? Which one is it?
No, he didn't deserve to get fired, and they use him as a scapegoat. And whoever, Lord forbid, whatever team get him, is going to be smoke in the city. I'll tell you right now, he finna go to it. That man is not going to be unemployed long. Trust and believe
No,
that.
he's not.
He just cost some of these guys. Look, he just cost some of these guys a job that thought they was finna get ready to get a job.
Bro,
somebody just lost a job because that man on the market right now.
If Miami had waited just 48 more hours, he would have been the perfect person to go down to Miami and really turn that program around. But they hired their head coach, I believe Sunday, right after or before McDermott got fired. So the season is over for the Buffalo Bills. Back to the drawing board. This was your best opportunity, as Griff said, coming to the playoffs without a Lamar, without Patrick Mahomes, without Joe Burrow, without all of the other competitive quarterbacks within your own conference. And this was it. And I believe that the Buffalo Bills will take a step back based on who the new head coach may be. Joe Brady is in the house or in the building. Maybe they elevate him since he was a huge contributing factor in the offensive success over Josh Allen's 3-4 years here recently, and have a good working relationship with him. But I don't know whether or not Joe Brady is experienced enough to fill the shoes of a head coach, because a lot of that or a lot of other additional requirements come along with that, and it could take away from his effectiveness on the offensive side. Congratulations to the Broncos. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. What they have to plan for without their starting quarterback going into the AFC Championship game with Bo Nix in the oddest way, fracturing his right ankle at the end of that game on a quarterback pull to the left for some additional yardage. Unfortunate for him. He'll be back in the fall, though, and hopefully his backup can do a little something this weekend. But we'll talk about that a little later. Man, we said Seattle was going to beat them down or win, but this was a statement victory by the Seattle Seahawks over the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, Seattle was supposed to win. San Francisco has a lot of injuries, but the way that they just beat the bejesus out of the 49ers, bang, bang, Niner gang, not this week. As Melissa was saying, until you do right by me, everything you touch going to just implode. And the spirit of Colin Kaepernick was sitting over the stadium. You surprised at the turnout, how this game ended, Griff?
Nope. I told you again that defense was going to do the exact same thing they did the last time they played each other. I wasn't expecting the score to be like this, though. I think they pulled this on for a reason, to let y'all know who the top dogs is. Look, if you go look at the numbers, believe it or not, Purdy had better numbers than Sam Darnold did. But Seattle ran the ball. They ran the ball. They had over 175 yards rushing. And the defense, man, that defense was something serious. I told you, with all the injuries, I mean, I salute the 49ers and their fans. As far as them to make it this far, I thought they was going to be able to put up, slow it down a little bit. But, man, when I say this is what they call don't take your foot off their neck. They did not take their foot off their neck at not one point in that game. When you're able to shut down CMC, who is basically 75 to 80% of the offense, and just keep Purdy going running, man. It was a long day for that team, man.
Yeah, and I hesitate to make the side by side comparison to the Legion of Boom because you got to actually win something to earn that comparison. But boy, there are a whole lot of similarities on that defense, and they showed that when they pin their ears back, they coming. And they are going to get after the quarterback. And how is that going to affect Matthew Stafford this upcoming weekend? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that defense is something special. And they could lead with a very good run game led complementary offense them to another Vince Lombardi trophy because bro, the way they showed up and showed out against the San Francisco 49ers this past weekend, it was something, not only, as you say, a statement being made, but they almost put a little bit of fear in the hearts of their opponents.
That was the statement. That this game had nothing to do with the 49ers. This game had everything to do. They knew they was winning, but that score and what they did had everything to do to put the fear in the heart of the Rams or whoever came out between the Rams and the Bears. That's what that was.
We can move on to the Rams and the Bears, Jordan.
Let's get there.
Bruh, this was the game that I was most excited to see. This was the game that I was looking forward to see because both of these two teams had the ability to win both on the offensive side and on the defensive side of the ball because of their ability to create turnovers and in special teams. And I was looking for inclement weather to be part of the additional obstacle placed in the way. Bad weather, or not bad weather, but cold weather was definitely a part of the equation because of drop passes, turnovers, and big plays. Now, this was a tight game. I picked the Bears to win. You went with the Rams to win on this one. We both knew it was going to be a tight game. But what did the Rams show you that can give you some confidence going into what we just talked about? That buzz saw of a Seattle defense. What did you see from them other than, the usual Puka and Devontae? Can they establish a run game against Seattle based off of what you've seen here over the past couple of weeks from them?
The last time Seattle and the Rams played, it was a close game. I'm going to tell you, Drew, Seattle will be representing the NFC. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Really?
The Rams... I'm just gonna keep it real, man. And I don't know if my boy Comeback Kanye is on here, but I would tell you the Rams had a game given to them. This game right here, the team that you predicted to win should have won, but the man with the cape over there, the one that Mr. Highlight Reel himself, also with them 3 turnovers, hurt this game. I'm telling you, man, at this point in this time of the year, when you got the home field advantage, it was obvious. Stafford hurt his hand, the way he was throwing the ball and stuff like that. You cannot afford to give him the ball, and he gave away the ball 3 times, to include when it came down to the end, man. Caleb he made a play. I just knew this joke was throwing the ball away, and then next thing I know is a touchdown. I said, I be, and then come right back and then get the ball away.
You know what that reminded me of?
John Brown. I'll be just right.
That play reminded me of the Alabama-Auburn game last year when y'all came back.
They call that the goal. They call that the Grim Reaper or something like that. When Jalen Miro just threw the ball up in the sky.
Yeah, but why Chicago lost this game, man? You mentioned the 3 turnovers by Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson understanding, and this goes to the comment that you made, Troy. Ben Johnson knowing that the Los Angeles Rams possessed the ability to put up a lot of points, took extra chances when you didn't have to. Whether it was being a rookie head coach in the playoffs, we all know when you can get points, you got to take them in the playoffs.
That makes sense.
I mean, giving up 3 field goals,
crazy.
And obviously you lose by 3.
Crazy.
You had the team on the ropes. You were supposed to win this game. You kind of
Crazy.
played yourself out of a victory. You know,
Crazy.
it's unfortunate because there's no guarantee that you will be back here next year. But Ben Johnson is a very good offensive-minded coach, and I expect Chicago to be able to at least be competitive, if not win the division again next year. Now, what does this mean for the Los Angeles Rams, Griff? Man,
They on shaky ground if you ask me, man.
they
I
don't
mean,
think
again,
Aaron said this game was rigged.
hey, now they got to go up to the 12th man, bro. You
But
know, you just left to win the city. Now you got to go up here to the 12th man. The 12th man got a much better defense than the Bears have. And as you can see, they did not win because of the offense this past weekend. And we know defense win championship. The Bears was even able to run. The Bears even had more rushing yards. Well, guess what? Although Seattle did lose Charbonnet for the season, he tore his ACL, but you know Kenny Walker was still toting that rock, man. And I expect to see that in this game too. I expect to see a heavy dose of running and that defense giving Matt Stafford the business, which you know he took. I think Matt Stafford was sacked 3-4 times in this game.
uh-huh.
It's gonna be ugly.
It's gonna be ugly. So let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you and Harold this question since y'all are two.
4 times. He was sacked 4 times in this game.
So y'all are the two main conspiracy theorists. If Los Angeles goes up into the 12th man, even after all of what you just said as to how dominant that defense is, and we're going to talk about that game a little later on anyway, but I just want to put this question out there that does not require a response right now. If the Los Angeles Rams were to go up into Seattle in some way, somehow win this game, would it be an NFL rigging? Because I've seen a lot of picks that have the Rams not only going to the Super Bowl, but the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Would it be an NFL rigging, or would it be what we've been saying all year long, that the Rams have the talent to win it all? Think about it. Don't answer it. Would it be, man, here go that NFL politics again, or would it be the Rams actually showed up and won this game and earned it? I know you're probably going to say it depends on how they win, but I want to know whether or not it'd be politics.
We'll get to it when we get to that topic. I give my take.
All right. Now, damn it, CJ. I said on Friday, CJ, don't be the reason why y'all lose. Don't be the reason why y'all lose. And I'll be damn it if CJ wasn't the reason why they lost. The defense did what it was supposed to do, in my opinion. They kept that team in the game. But the turnovers that the Houston Texans offense just continue to provide or give unnecessarily was the reason why that team lost this game. We were texting each other during the game, me, you, and Jordan, about whether or not Coach Ryan should pull his starting quarterback and give the backup a shot, like Tua way back in the day. Griff, did CJ lose this game for the Houston Texans, or was it that the New England Patriots were the better team?
If CJ would have took sacks instead of throwing the ball,
I know
the Texans would have still. Or if CJ would have threw the ball away instead of trying to force stuff. I'm gonna tell you, Drake May. This was probably one of his lackluster performances, if you ask me. I mean, they dialed it up, and as far as you say, shit, he took him out. Think about when we was drill sergeants and you had that soldier that been out there at the range all day and they can't qualify. Do you keep on making them shoot, or do you wait till another day and then you bring them back? Because all this is in his head, bruh. I've been there. I can remember as a youth football player, and I ain't never fumbled the ball, and I messed around and fumbled the ball and had 3 fumbles in the same game. And I mean, because the more you try not to do it, the more it even happens.
Yeah, you saw it. Broken,
CJ was seeing ghosts. He was seeing ghosts, man. If you really cared about that kid, you couldn't have. He not already throw 4 interceptions in the first half of the game. What you got to lose with David Mills coming in there? He ain't got nothing to lose. But the defense got tired, bro. The defense got tired and they got wore down. Will Anderson them played lights out. Them jokers. This was probably the hardest hitting game of all the games this weekend. Them boys was hitting.
It
But
was.
CJ was serving it up on the platter, baby. And I told you. I told you. I told you it wasn't gonna be no 100-yard rushing game. And I told you, in order for them to win, the defense needed to go. I told you.
I thought you were the
I
type of
wasn't gonna, you thought I was gonna let you off the hook.
I thought you were the type of person that didn't hold a mirror up and said, "I told you so. I told you so."
I'm gonna be that guy today.
Man, it broke his spirit. You saw it in his face before he even went into the half. 4 interceptions in the first half. And we would, like I said, we were having this conversation whether or not D'Amico Ryan should pull him and put Davis Mills in. And whether or not the commentary from some people would be like, well, is it we're talking about his career now, or are we talking about the next half of the game that we need to win? He did come back and have some success in the second half, and the team settled down, and they were able to make it competitive and had a chance to win. I won't say win, but they had their shots. He really needs to lock in this offseason and go through whatever continuing evolution process that he and Coach Ryan and the Houston Texans want to have him go through, because he cannot come back in year 4 like he did in year 3. Because his rookie year, he had the rookie year that was like, man, he should have been the number 1 pick. I don't know why y'all picked Bryce Young, because he was the guy, blah, 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 blah. Even though the team made the playoffs in year 2, he regressed. Even though the team made the playoffs in year 3, he has regressed. Year 4 has to be a complete 180, and you're heading back into the opposite direction, my guy. You're playing for your next contract next year, in my opinion.
Hey man, Terrence said it's just a tradition of garbage quarterbacks that come out of Ohio State. Terrence is a Michigan guy, so he got no love for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm gonna leave that between Terrence and the Ohio State, the OSU quarterbacks. But you may have some points.
Hey, he said,
you may have a point, Terrence.
He said you being nice.
You may have a point. Is all I'm gonna say. They don't have a long track record of staying in.
Hey man, let's look at the previous Ohio State quarterbacks. You got Justin Fields sitting on the sideline. You got CJ here, and then I can't even. All the other ones is like coaches and stuff.
Name a quarterback in the NFL that has come from Ohio State other than CJ Stroud that is a starter right now.
They all. I'm telling you, all the other ones are coaches.
Other than Terrell Pryor. When Troy should know Terrell Pryor pretty good. He was y'all guy.
Yeah.
All right, but.
But they made him a receiver. He ended up being a receiver instead of a quarterback.
Yeah. Phenomenal year for the Houston Texans, though. They started 0-3. CJ got hurt midway through the season. Davis Mills came in, and that team went on an 8 or 9 game winning streak, becoming the hottest team in the league at some point. So kudos to them. See y'all next year. The New England Patriots moving on. Now, New England Patriots, they kind of got lucky a little bit, right? Because not only do we win against the best defense in the National Football League, we survive, and we kind of show that we can win in the biggest game, at least in our young career, because this is not the New England Patriots of old. This is a completely different team. So they proved something to themselves. Drake May is having, obviously, the best sophomore season that you could imagine in his young career. They've turned it around from 4 wins last year to 14 wins in the regular season this year. And they've gone to AFC title game a whole bunch of times. So as an organization, this is not too big for them. They go into Denver. Denver does not have a starting quarterback. We talked about who the backup was on Saturday after we found out that Bo Nix broke his ankle. And we automatically said New England going to the Super Bowl. we've had a couple of days. You still believe New England going to the Super Bowl, or do you think that Denver can create some type of scenario where Stidham does have some type of offensive success and the defense do what they need to do to not only limit New England's success, which I know that they haven't had a difficult schedule, but their offense averages 28 points a game. So they're doing something right. Does Denver have a shot, Griff, or you still believe New England going to
they got your old ball coach over there, man. They always got a shot. And again, because they have a defense, just like the Texans had a defense, they got a shot. And the Texans proved that, hey, you know what? Drake May, he get rattled. He was rattled in that game. He looked just as shook as CJ did. The difference was he has a running game, and so you can get about. You don't have to put it all on him. Whereas the Texans don't have a running game. And you know what? I just realized Mike ain't here tonight, man. Mr. Mike, trust and believe, I'm gonna chop that joke up in the group chat. I just realized he been here and did all that talking about his squad. But let me come back to where we at.
Man, you know,
the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. The last time he threw a pass, he was actually paying for the New England Patriots. The last start he had was for the Patriots, man. I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think this game is going to be decided by a field goal, Drew.
Yeah.
But whoever wins this game is not going to win the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is coming from the NFC.
I believe so as well. I think you and I are in early agreement that both Los Angeles and the Seattle Seahawks are better than both of these two teams. At least will be favored going into that game. I'm not saying that they're better, but they will be favored. And perfect conditions in Santa Clara on 8 February would tend to lead towards that NFC team, especially coming out of the NFC West in 2025. But for this particular game, whether or not the Denver Broncos have a legitimate shot at home, yeah, Sean Payton is going to throw the kitchen sink at New England. I hesitate to say that, well, you'll be able to slow down New England because they average 28 points a game. But they don't seem to be dominant in obtaining those 28 points when they do score 28 points. It's just like they do just enough to win because we both believe, at least I think we both believe, that the defense is what got them to where they are. But yet they're one of the top scoring offenses.
How they got them 28 points this past week? Them jokers was all, again, CJ was serving that thing up. Them jokers, I mean, they was already damn near getting touchdowns anyway. I'm telling you, it's going to be different this week. Hey, Troy just say Mike McDaniels just signed as the OC for the Chargers.
Ooh.
That's scary. He out there in California.
That would not have been the first choice for me. Because even though Justin Herbert,
I would have liked to see him go to the Titans. I would have liked to see him go to the Titans.
Right, because Jim Harbaugh is a run-first head coach.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him went out to the Titans out there with Ward and help him out, improve him.
Right, with Robert Saleh. So
yeah.
Oh well, we'll see. I don't know, man. We'll talk more about this game on Friday, but I find it difficult to kind of just dismiss what the Denver Broncos bring to the table with Bo Nix going down. Short passing game with Sutton and a steady run game.
Was Bo Nix? Let's keep it real. Was Bo Nix really a factor in this season or in the game? It's been the defense. Bo Nix, been up and down too. So I mean,
I get you. He's He does swing the points. At least 3 to 4 points for me, though, between him and Stidham. Stidham has been in the league for 6-7 years, has 6-7 starts. It tells you something.
Man, that man, a millionaire sitting on the sideline, man. Hey, I wish I could be. Hey, I wish I could be on the sideline,
I
getting
understand
millions,
that.
chilling.
But in a game of inches where Al Pacino said that you have to be willing to dive for those inches, the backup to the backup to the backup is not the guy I'm going to rely on unless your name is Steaming Willie
Hey,
B.
he did. Look how Willie Beeman. Look how Willie Beeman.
Huh?
look how Willie Steaming Willie Beeman came in there, baby. He was the backup to the backup to the backup.
I know, right? But this guy is not Steaming Willie Beamer. So we'll talk more about this game on Friday, man. But yeah, I think the Patriots do have the early advantage, so to speak.
I
Now,
mean, everybody gonna give it to him because of Bo Nix being out, man. But there's more to it than that. But yeah, let's go ahead and tap into this one right here, man.
this one right here is not going to be as easy as Griff said that the Seattle Seahawks going to be representing the NFC. This is going to be in the 12th man. Griff knows about the 12th man. This game is going to be the late game on Sunday, 6:30, and maybe there could be inclement weather, maybe not. It should not affect either one of these two teams, no matter what the weather conditions are. So this is an NFC West battle. We know each other very well. I don't think that either one of these two teams believes that they are 100% better than the other team. They know that they're going to have to earn it on the field. If Seattle believes that statement win that we had against San Francisco 49ers is going to damper the confidence that the Los Angeles Rams have in what Sean McVay plans on bringing to the table, they are sadly mistaken. You know that. I know that. Both of these two teams know that. So you said it earlier. Seattle is going to win this game unless they implode, unless Sam Darnold turned the ball over 33 and a half times. What does Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and that run game with Williams, Keon Williams, and the rest of that Los Angeles offense need to do to be successful against a Seattle Seahawks defense that was so dominant last weekend? To give them a shot to win.
Well, in all fairness, they played the 49ers. So that's where those points came up. We know what the Rams is capable of doing. We done watched these two teams play each other twice this year already, and I think they split. Rams won one, Seattle won one, if my memory serves me correctly. The last time they played, Seattle needed to come back and win this game, which means the Rams definitely had a better coach between the two, the more experienced coach between the two. So I can't just completely just take Sean McVay out. He's gonna come in there and he's already been scheming for this game. He knows this opponent. But I just think, brother, in order for them to the Rams to win this game, they have to be mistake free. They have to be able to not be no 3 and outs. They got to be able to convert on third down on this defense. They can't put themselves in long yardage situations on this defense for first downs. Got to be able to take what the defense give them, and definitely got to be able to run the ball to keep Sam Darnold and that offense off the field. If they allow Seattle to get on that field and be able to run the ball, keeping Stafford off the field, it's going to be a long day for the Rams.
So check this out, Griff. You know, every time we talk about specifically divisional round or divisional games between two divisional rivals, we talk about matchups, right? And I believe you may be suffering from recency bias because what you think the Seattle defense can do against the Los Angeles Rams offense based off of what you saw them do against the San Francisco offense is two different things. You're right. These two teams did split this year. If you recall, Sam Darnold turned the ball over 6 times this year against this very team. 4 in the first game, 2 in the second game. Now, Seattle was the better team in both of the games. Seattle was the better team in both of the games, but we can't automatically assume that Sam Darnold will fix whatever needs to be fixed based off of what the lackluster performance, technically speaking, that he had against San Francisco 49ers because of all of the dominant plays that the defense had, I'm not so confident that the Seattle offense can be as dominant as we think they can be against the Los Angeles Rams defense. Like Troy mentioned in the chat, it's going to be some pass popping on Sunday night. The Los Angeles Rams defense is coming to play. Okay. They know what Seattle brings on the offensive side. They're going to, Sean McVay, I would assume, him and that young defensive coordinator Schuler is going to focus on limiting the success for Smith and Jigba. Ensure that Walker doesn't have those run lanes that he had against the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a tight game, bro. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to give you a chance until Friday to figure out.
Man, I love when you be prognosticating, man. I love when you be prognosticating, brother. But I tell you this. My thoughts does not come just strictly off this 49ers game. I've been talking about this Seattle defense all season.
Yeah.
All season. And like you just said, the only reason why they won that one game was because of turnover. My thing is hand the ball off. Make the Rams stop me from running the ball. If the Rams can't stop, I'm telling you. Because Smith and Jigga wasn't even a factor in this last game, man. I'm telling you. The recipe to win this game against the Rams is run the ball, keep Sam Darnold off the field, and just put as all the much pressure as you can. And D-Law them is coming. They coming. You think he got sacked 4 times? You think he got sacked 4 times in the Chicago game? Trust and believe. He gonna be under duress in this one.
Yeah. And you 37.
But again, I ain't picking a team yet because we got to pick our teams on Friday.
Right. I understand, and I tamper the favoritism that the Seattle team is getting and highlight the offensive ability of the Los Angeles Rams for a reason. But that Seattle defense is extremely dominant. And I'm definitely not going to sell them short. And I made reference to the Legion of Boom earlier in the show. They still have to win a couple of games to be able to have a legitimate comparison. But like Griff said, they coming. And Matthew Stafford on those 37-year-old legs is going to have to make sure that he is keeping his head on a swivel. Because like Troy said, it's going to be some pads popping on Sunday evening. So looking forward to it, man.
Hey, look at the comment section, man. I need to go do my research on that, Spice. I guess the Green Bay didn't already release Trayvon Diggs. So his question was, who's on the hook for the $120 million now that Green Bay has released him?
Dallas. He played with Dallas the entire regular season.
Hey, man.
Dallas.
I don't know about that. Hey, they got him. They got him. I have to see what
none of that money.
I have to see what that negotiation contract looks.
That money is no longer guaranteed.
Just gonna be sitting up. He gonna get him another concussion at the house.
Yeah, he got all of his guaranteed money up front in a signing bonus or in the first year of his contract money. None of this $120 million is guaranteed. It's probably maybe $5 to $10 million of a guarantee. So he's gonna have to earn a position next year if he already got released. He'll be a good free agent signing in the offseason. Some team. He might be going back on to Irving, Texas. You just never know.
No, bro.
All right, man. Looking forward.
If anybody watching from the NFL, man, save your money, coaches. Hey, he'll be on somebody's practice squad.
Griff, I have never seen you dump Alabama alumni so much as you have done with Trayvon Diggs. And he is not only Alabama blood, but he's Dallas Cowboys.
How you said early in the show, Drew? How you said early in the show about Lamar and how he earned his beatdown and how Dakota Prescott, Trayvon earned this lashing. It ain't like I'm bashing him. I've been watching him. He earned this.
Troy said he got released on his day off. How you get fired on your day off?
How you get fired? Talking about I had stole some. Hey, that's a question we got to ask Jordan at the end of the show.
They talking about they got me on camera.
Talking about I was stealing some boxes. What you trying to do? Build a treehouse?
Man, how you get fired on your day off? Jordan, by the end of the show, please know the movie that is reference to. All right. Speaking of firings,
Look how we roll. Look how we roll right into that.
I'm telling you, look at God. 10 NFL teams have let their head coaches go and or the general manager as well. 10. That's 30%, 32% of the National Football League. 10. And the season is not even over. That is mind-boggling. A lot of them justified because you did it to yourself. I could have told you 3 years ago when you hired that guy that you was going to be looking for another head coach in 3 years. Just like most teams do when they draft a quarterback that we know that quarterback is not going to make it in the National Football League. But, hey, y'all want to waste millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to prove us right? It's your money to burn. Now, we talked earlier about the Buffalo Bills and whether or not it's the coach's fault that they were not able to get to the Super Bowl and win one, especially in the window with Josh Allen being in the prime of his career, and whether or not Coach McDermott was unfairly released. Is it McDermott's fault that they were unable to get over that heel, Griff? Did he deserve to be fired? We know that he's going to get another head coaching job here in the next week, just based off of what's still available, because there's still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs open. He's going to be, 5 excluding the Buffalo Bills job. He's going to get one of those jobs unless he decides to take a year off, say like Coach Mike Tomlin is most likely going to do. Is it McDermott's fault, or is it Josh Allen taking too many chances, creating too many turnovers? Because, again, until that one MVP season, he was the turnover king, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not forget, because players on the field over plays. I said it on Friday. Players over plays. Did McDermott deserve to get axed?
No, he didn't, man. I'm sorry, man. Unfortunately, he turned that program around, or that organization around, man. You know, the Bills was like, lackluster before McDermott got there. He started bringing them back to how they was in the 90s. Like you said, Josh Allen has to take credit for these losses, because almost every last one of them losses was at the hand of Josh Allen making some unwise play or not stepping up or rising to the occasion. He's a great regular season player, but getting the postseason, he make plays at the inopportune time. And here it is. James Cook had over 100 yards rushing in that game, man. But it reminds me so much of when Seattle had a chance to win their second Super Bowl. All they had to do was hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. But what we want to do? We want to make the quarterback look like a superstar because we'd have paid him all that money. And this is what happens every time. And they could say that it was on McDermott, but ownership has even though their ownership might not be as verbal as a Jerry Jones, you still better believe the ownership is on there saying, hey, Josh is our guy. They up there making that phone call to that sideline. Josh need to be the one to take us to the top.
Yeah, you're right. You're going to go with the talent over the sideline 9 times out of 10, right? Because the talent is actually what produces the fruit of that labor, and the fruit being the Lombardi Trophy. So especially if it's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Now, Josh Allen is one of the top quarterbacks in the league physically. You said he's a great regular season quarterback. I agree. He's also a great playoff quarterback. He has not always had the other 52 players around him to match his play, depending on the team that they were going against. So I'm not going to hang all of those L's in the divisional round game or in the AFC title game against the Kansas City Chiefs or any other team squarely on Josh Allen. Coach McDermott does hold some of that responsibility as well. McDermott not only controls the ship, but he controls how these games unfold. So, did he deserve to get fired? No. Will he be hired again within the next week? Most likely. But what I want to do is spend a couple of minutes, because I've been putting this off for months, is to focus in on the success that Josh Allen has had in the playoffs, but yet still can't get over the hump. Is it his fault? Is it the lack of support that he may or may not have, like Griff said earlier, being surprised about them being where they were these past 2 years? How can you be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, but then not have enough assistance to get you over the hump when you're supposed to be that guy? Like you said, he does have to take some of that accountability. Now, we made mention about the softball critiques that he gets from the national media unfairly, because he the turnover king for a reason, bro. Lest we forget, for every touchdown that he would throw, he would match it with a interception, ladies and gentlemen. So for the great physical talent that he is, he's the reason unjustly and unfairly why McDermott got fired. McDermott is the scapegoat. He did not deserve to get fired, and we talked about it in the green room. Whatever team that does hire him, going to provide him a little bit of more incentive to get back at Buffalo, and they're going to regret this. Whatever do they go? I don't know. I don't know. Joe Brady is in the house.
Troy hit it on the head. Troy hit it on the head too, though, man. How does the head coach get fired and the GM get promoted?
I know.
You know, we talk about we talk about or still have a job. We talk about them not having the people in place, but look at his track record. The Joker he didn't only drafted 3 Pro Bowlers. 3 Pro Bowlers in what's that chart in the last 8 years or something like that? In the last 9 seasons. Last 9 seasons, this dude had only brought in 3 Pro Bowlers. So a lot of it, I mean, again, don't want to beat Josh Allen up too much, because sometimes he has to feel like he has to do it because he don't have the players around him. But I still think that coach should still be there. But I think I seen Troy say that in the comment as well. The days of seeing coaches stay past 10 years are gone. We won't see that because these people want returns on their investment, man. And they probably only giving these coaches maybe 3-4 years now, and then they're going to move on to the next.
Understandably so. And that's why I say you have to marry your coach up with the style of quarterback that you have. And the style of quarterback that the Baltimore Ravens have is extremely unique. You've never seen this particular style of quarterback in this particular type of package in the history of the National Football League. The closest that you've ever seen is Michael Vick in his heyday. But Lamar Jackson brings a unique skill set to the Baltimore Ravens. And again, with a top 2 rushing game, a top 2 running back historically and currently, the Baltimore Ravens need to focus on an offensive-minded coach. I know we talk about Flores, but if you go offense with the coaching hire, who would you go with as an offensive-minded coach?
For Baltimore?
Yes.
I'm going to be honest, man. I like Cliff Kingsbury. That's who I like. I know you might, that's not your guy. But, I mean, just look at his track record with these mobile quarterbacks and what he brings to the table. I just think that he'll be a good fit up there with them.
Yeah, he does have a lot of success with mobile quarterbacks. He did a lot of good in spurts with Kyler Murray. His one opportunity with Jaden Daniels, it was a phenomenal year. The second year he got hurt, so that's kind of a wash. I don't think he has the organizational maturity to lead an organization, especially a nationally visible organization such as the Baltimore Ravens that have Super Bowl expectations and aspirations every single year. he is not there in his coaching career. That's just me. I think he is a Josh Daniels type of coach. So we'll
I mean,
see.
Josh Daniels have been head coaches in other places, man. He's a great OC, but when it come to head coaching, he don't have it. I mean, you still got to be a people's person.
That's what
A
I'm saying.
smart thing to do is you got to bring the right people in. I mean,
That's
I didn't see people have an issue with Clean. Have you heard people talk about Cliff Kingsbury the way they talked about Josh McDaniels, former players? The Yelp reviews on Josh McDaniels is not. He's not the great head coach. He's an offensive minded guy, but head coach wise, no. I think Kingsbury. I mean, I think he just got a bad rap down there in Arizona because your boy Kyler Murray just won. He should have played baseball in my opinion, but that's just griff.
So let me
I'm gonna
piss
leave it at
Jordan
that.
off real quick. Let me piss Jordan and Karen off. If y'all are unable to get Clint Kubiak, which it seems that that's who y'all waiting on, you know who might sneak in there and kind of get this job that last 3 or 4 years? Nagy, the OC from Matt Nagy, the OC from the Kansas City Chiefs,
Oh Lord, G.
who walked away.
Yes. Chicago, that guy been all over the world.
Yeah. I think he might slip in there and kind of hold that position for the Baltimore Ravens and kind of take them down a little bit until the next guy is selected. That would not be good for y'all. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, who comes in? Do they go with somebody like a McCarthy who will give you 3 to 5 years? Or do you go with a young defensive-minded guy, being that you have a track record of doing that? What are you looking from the Pittsburgh Steelers if Flores decides to go to elsewhere or Raheem Morris is not available?
So when I last looked, McCarthy is the next guy to get interviewed. So which means they still open to other people coming. They hadn't shut the interview window down yet. McCarthy is the hometown guy. He's a Super Bowl hero. I mean, a Super Bowl winner. But they got to make a lot of other moves in the Steeler Nation, man. The Steeler Nation just don't have. There's so many plugs. I mean, for me, they almost got to be starting from the beginning because there's so many areas on that team that need to be fixed. The defenses got old. I mean, not Bosa, but T.J. Watts and those guys, they didn't got older. Haywood, all them guys ain't got that. Them ain't no young cats no more. On the offensive side of the ball, they don't have no receivers. We know Aaron Rodgers ain't. Even if he was to come back, it wouldn't be with the Steelers. I wouldn't want to be the coach that have to go. Although I mean, maybe it ain't a bad thing being the coach to go in there and knowing that you already got a whole bunch of messed up stuff. But
Bro,
I think Brian Flores will be the guy. Brian Flores will be the guy to come in. That's who I'd be shooting to try to come in there and try to bring back that old Steeler mentality with his defense in mind.
Yeah, Brian Flores will be the only person that I can see going into 2026 and weather the storm. Out of those 3 teams that are on the top half of this list, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Steelers, all organizations with Super Bowl expectations at least every year or 2 years, this is the one that you do not want to go because of what Griff just said. They are in a lot of bad situations, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side. They're old as all get out on the defensive side. Over the budget on the defense with all of these big name players. Cam Haywood looked like he's still ready to come back for another year. TJ Watt has a huge contract. You don't have a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers hasn't said anything about retirement. Pittsburgh hasn't said we don't want you. So I don't know. The door's still open. At least there is a crack. And whoever the head coach is going to be needs to be able to hold their ship together at least with as many band-aids as possible for 1 year until you can create some draft capital and or trade capital so that you can start to build a team for yourself. Anybody else is going to be overwhelming in my opinion. They could be the New York Football Jets next year. You just never know. It'll be interesting to see because, man, there's a whole lot of terrible towels out here. Really focused on who this coach is going to be. Remember, y'all asked for this. Y'all said Mike Thomas should get fired in week 13. We'll see who the Pittsburgh Steelers get. Now, the Browns, man, I am kind of sneaky looking forward to seeing who they have on their short list. Hopefully it's somebody who is defensive minded. We've tried the offensive minded approach with Kevin Stefanski for quite a few years. He has a record of 44-56 in the past 100 games with the Cleveland Browns. So he's had 6-7 years of, 6 years, 13 quarterbacks. I now remember. 6 years, 13 separate quarterbacks. 2 Coach of the Years, a playoff appearance, but no sustained success. They have talent, Griff. Who would be a perfect fit for this team?
I would want to. I mean, I hear what you say, but I would want an offensive minded guy to come. The defense ain't been a problem with this team. The defense has been one of the top 10 defenses in the league. It's been the offensive side of the ball and they inability to put points on the board, inability to maintain quarterback. Like you said, they had 13 quarterbacks in how many years? So I would really want somebody to come in that could be able to that can tutor, that can bring Shador or whoever the quarterback gonna be, because Watson should be coming back this year too, so that's gonna be something. But I would want an offensive minded guy, and again, another spot for Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know why I'm on his thing right now, on his tip, but I think he'll be another guy that can come in there and mentor and teach Shador.
Yeah, you may be right about that, but Cleveland Browns historically don't have a large pot of money. Garrett, unfortunately, took a whole lot of that this past off season. So you're going to have to depend on those 2 young quarterbacks and money associated with that to bring in a head coach who is not going to have a huge bloated salary, say like a John Harbaugh salary for the Giants, and be able to build something. You're probably right. It should be an offensive-minded head coach. Kingsbury is not out of the realm of possibility. I will also look at Joe Brady. Matt Nagy might end up in Cleveland. That will probably be another landing spot for him. McCarthy would be a good head coach for the Cleveland Browns. That would be the perfect spot for him, in my opinion, because he has the offensive experience to have his voice not only be heard but listened to in that building, where he would have more influence as compared to the influence that he would have as a hometown kid in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh and Cleveland are basically neighbors, the same level of influence that he has in Pittsburgh, but not as much. And with the Rooney family, would carry more weight in Cleveland, in my opinion, just professionally speaking. But we'll see. You say offense, you're probably right. It most likely will be an offensive-minded young coordinator, and we'll see what they do. Now, Troy. I've thought long and hard about this. I just think that Tom Brady should put on the headset and become the Raiders head coach. What you think, Griff?
Hey man, that joke. I still don't know how he can still call football games and be an owner of a team at the same time. Man. That's
$40
wild.
million a year, man, to call plays.
That's crazy, man. Hey,
right?
The Chiefs getting ready to bring Eric Bieniemy back.
He was already signed. They already hired him back today.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that. Yeah. So that definitely opened up next. But hey, man, I would love to see old Tom on the sideline. I don't think Tom ain't about to come out there, boo. He loving what he's doing too, man. Another one of those teams, man. I would like to see a McDermott go there since the Bills have let him go, and then he go there and be successful with that team, man. because he
Yeah,
going again. He got options. That'll be nice to see him go there and turn that team around.
yeah, yeah. And it would take a couple of years, but he will get that leeway from Mark Davis and the ownership group, and he has the gravitas, so to speak, to not only meet the expectations of a Tom Brady, but he has that resume to back that up. So that would be the perfect fit for McDermott. Uh, would not be surprised if it happens, but I would also not be surprised if he lands right there in Arizona. And they're going through that same process. You don't know what type of offense they're going to have next year because you don't know who the quarterback is going to be taking the snaps next year. And should they go offense based on how that team is currently structured, or should they focus on getting a defensive-minded head coach based on the division that they're in? Because Los Angeles ain't going nowhere, San Francisco ain't going nowhere, and Seattle dang sure ain't going nowhere. What do the Arizona Cardinals do as to how do we fix what we obviously have as an uphill battle in our own division in our head coaching hire for 2026?
If you want to go defensive minded, I would say, man, you probably looking at Steve Spagnuolo. Bring him down there to beat that defense up. I know we talked about this earlier as far as with Buffalo, but Dabo, man, I mean, Dabo was a coach of the year, and then the Giants go downhill, and then all of a sudden, but still, that's another viable guy out there if you want an offensive minded guy to come into your squad, man. So it just depends on which direction they trying to go in.
Okay, yeah, I have no earthly idea what approach they should take because I don't know who your quarterback is going to be. You only got one true weapon on the offense, and it's not really a weapon.
You better not say who I think their true weapon is, because he ain't did nothing.
What you not gonna do is disrespect. No,
Marvin Harris, you better not say Marvin Harrison Jr. You better not, Drew. You better not.
what I was gonna say is who has yet to prove that he is worthy of said title.
Okay, clean it up.
You are no Larry Fitzgerald just yet. You're not even a what was the man on the opposite side, Brown. So, anyways, the Cardinals, y'all gonna be right where you are next year at the bottom of your division. So I don't know what to tell you. The Packers, they remain a team that is going to be competitive because they re-signed Matt LaFleur. We all expected that. Nobody's surprised. The New York Football Giants signed John Harbaugh and gave that man $20 million a year, Griff. Can you believe John Harbaugh got $20 million a year to sign with the New York Football Giants? I don't know what Matt LaFleur's contract looked like. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat in the same neighborhood.
And still got the same GM that let Saquon go.
The Giants do?
Yeah, they still got the same GM.
Man, I don't know what to tell you. But John Harbaugh is going to turn that team around. Huh?
The one whose son told him to sign Saquon.
Yeah, I know. I remember that clip. His 5-year-old son. His 7-year-old son told him, "You better sign Saquon."
That was on Hard Knocks, man.
Yeah.
If the kids can see it, come on, man.
So John Harbaugh is going
to. May said y'all going to the playoffs next year, man.
Hey, Darren, you're absolutely right. We got something down there in who that country with Tyler Show.
8-9.
The level of disrespect. We got something with Tyler Shucker, Brooks' favorite play caller, the boy wonder, as he likes to refer to him. Robert Sala, haters gonna hate, like you like to say. Tyler or Robert Sala going down to Tennessee. You think that's going to have a huge impact immediately? I
think it's going to beat that defense up. I just need to see who you going to get to be his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I thought Mike
That's what I want
McDaniel
to
did
see.
perfect.
I would have loved to see Mike McDaniels go there with him, but as we see, he's already been selected. So who are they gonna get down there to help Ward go to that next level? Because he definitely had that spark. Salah, you already know what he gonna do with the Titans defense and what he gonna do to beat that up. But just would love to see who gonna be that offensive coordinator.
Yes, sir. Now with the Atlanta Football Falcons,
A
uh,
head scratcher.
hiring
Head
Kevin
scratcher.
Stefanski. When Jordan, I think it was Jordan, put that in the group chat on Saturday. I immediately, being that this is not only a division rival, but the Saints' most disliked rival, I immediately said I approve of this hire. Man, what were the Falcons thinking getting rid of Raheem Morris, who had a much better record in the same time span as Kevin Stefanski, as two head coaches in similar type of divisions? Not huge disparities or discrepancies within the teams within that same division. And Kevin Stefanski, who is supposed to be an offensive guru, ladies and gentlemen, two head coaches of the year awards that were provided to him in the past 5-6 years, has produced 44 wins out of 100. That's a terrible percentage. 44 out of 100. He was winning, but yet he got hired as the Atlanta Falcons head coach. Griff, what's going on here, man?
Hey man, I plead the fifth. I did not see that coming. I really didn't. I really thought that this guy was going to be sitting somewhere else, maybe being somebody's OC or whatever. Didn't think that he was going to go from the Cleveland Browns to another head. But if he going to go into any conference or any division, you know which division to go into. Hey,
Uh,
because even though his 8-9 records don't really 8-8 don't do nothing in the AFC North, they okay in the NFC South. So that's the only thing I can say. They say that's the only thing I can see, man.
yeah,
That's
and
it.
8-8 Baltimore was playing for the division this year, so I don't know what you're talking about. Good sir. But yeah, the Atlanta Falcons should continue to underperform based off of this, but he could be the guy that
They
brings
about to get that. They about to get that Kaepernick. They about to get that Kaepernick curse, baby. Everything you do.
exactly till you do right, Bobby. You're gonna continue to fail. Now, the Miami Dolphins quietly hired their next head coach over the weekend, the defensive coordinator from the Green Bay Packers. What type
Yep.
of head coach or impact do you think that he's going to have, and do you think your guy Tua is going to be on that team next year?
I don't think Tua gonna be on that team this year. I think they're gonna be shopping Tua around. I think this guy is based off what I've seen. Him and the GM, they got a close relationship. I think Miami realized that they about to be in the rebuild phase. I don't think they expect too much from Miami next year, but they will be wanting a return on investment probably the year after. But they gonna probably be shopping Tua around.
Yeah, Tua's going to be on another team, and unfortunately, I think this is going to be the in between coaching position. This is going to be that first landing spot where this young head or new head coach is going to spend a couple of years to kind of build up his resume, but it's not going to last because the Miami Dolphins are going to continue to suck because whoever the quarterback is going to be, unless they get a trade for LJ8 out of Baltimore to bring him back home to the 305, they are going to suck in 2026 because if Tua is not
Hey,
your
that's hey,
guy,
hey,
and
hey, mate. That's what Darren say. Darren
huh?
say that's where he going. Darren say that Lamar is coming to Miami.
Which he has always said he would not be opposed to, but Steve Bisciotti, understanding that even though Lamar Jackson is going to be a $74 million hit on that paycheck next year or that bank account next year, he is it. We got rid of John Harbaugh because we chose Lamar. Everything is getting put into the basket. Lamar is coming in to the interview process. Lamar ain't going nowhere, bro. So trust and believe Lamar Jackson will be the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens in 2026. Now, where would be a good landing spot for Tua, Griff? I don't know. The
I
Jets,
don't.
maybe? The Jets?
I mean, it couldn't
Pittsburgh.
hurt the Jets. It
Pittsburgh.
couldn't hurt the Jets.
Pittsburgh.
But you know what? Neither one of those places will be good for Tua because of the weather. I'm just gonna keep it real. Tua don't do good in cold weather. Just look at his track record,
You from
and then to
Hawaii,
have to
man?
play, and both of them is stay them open stadiums.
I got
Them wouldn't
you.
be good fits for Tua.
I got you. He from Hawaii. I understand. It
Them
is
wouldn't
what it
be good fits. Plus, he got a bad hip like Griff.
is. Yep. So
Jordan said Cardinals. I think the Cardinals would be a good spot for him to go.
that would be interesting. I'm looking forward to see what happens with him next year as to whether or not he's going to stay in the Miami Dolphins building or be traded
Yeah.
early in the offseason. Like,
Well,
right?
everybody bring up a good point in the chat, man. Tua still got a lot of money tied to him. Hey, Quinn Ewers is their guy right now. I
You
wouldn't
know,
mind having a Tua on the sideline as a backup at this point
the money
until we
that
figure out how we going.
the money that is tied to Tua at this point is the going rate for a real starting quarterback in the National Football League. Because
Hey
at
man,
this
hey,
point,
you can't. Hey,
50
don't hate the
million.
player. Don't hate the player. Hate the game,
Yeah,
man. Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
at this point, 50
That's their
million
fault.
is what you expect to pay for a starting quarterback every single year if you want to be
That's
competitive.
their fault.
So it's not
That's
that
their
it's
fault.
their
They still
fault.
look.
It is what
They
it is.
still got Quinn Ewers on a rookie contract, man. So it balances itself out.
He's not a long-term answer any damn way.
He ain't, man. He ain't. But it give Tua some time to sit on that sideline and breathe and get
Well, I mean,
healthy.
you can sit on the sideline and breathe for the next 6 months. Ain't no more playing. You better build himself up and come into this
Hey, just
daggone training camp, putting his daggone flag down, saying that I am still the starting guy because we have a new head coach. The old head coach benched me. The new head coach don't know nothing about me. This
Hey
is a
man,
fresh new
ownership,
start. You know what I mean?
ownership.
Ownership, baby. I got you. He still got to improve as a player. He's still young, 24, 25, 26. So don't be so quick to give up on your tide, my guy. All right,
Hey,
man.
I love me some Tua, man. You know I love me
Yeah,
some Tua.
I know that's your guy. That's your man. Phenomenal recap show, man. Divisional round produced some exciting football. Congratulations once again to the Indiana Hoosiers on winning this year's national championship, the first one in school history, and doing it in a fashion that not only has the first natty, but a perfect record alongside of it, with a Heisman Trophy winner alongside of it, with a National Coach of the Year alongside of it.
Hey, man, don't. Hey, okay, they did something, man. But the University of Alabama had an undefeated season with a Heisman Trophy winner too. It won 16 games, man. Don't. Hey, don't make me go there. Hey, man, we got Miles is here, man. Hey, welcome, Miles. Miles had knee surgery, man. That's my boy. Been out. Glad to see him on the screen, man.
What's
Even,
going
you know,
on,
even
Miles,
though
man?
I
It's been
thought
a
Miles
long.
was done with the Chiefs.
Hey,
I thought he was done with the Chiefs, man.
I tell you, everybody having knee surgeries. They giving those out nowadays. So you said Miles had one,
Man,
his quarterback had one, you had one, I had one, we all had one. But don't rain on that parade, Griff. I'm trying to give that team their flowers. They have been waiting 100+ years to say that we are
nah,
actually
man.
good at
Hey.
football. Everybody done had their time in the sun. Don't be mad because somebody else got to get a little bit of sun.
No. Look, they did exactly what I wanted. I told them to win. Did you see Michael Irvin with that belt yesterday? I told you, I said, I need y'all to win. I need Michael Irvin to keep that belt on. And they did. They answered
Go
my
ahead
prayer.
on too. Yeah, yeah. Hey, great show, man.
Always, man. Always, man.
It's always great to come on here and converse with you about some football. You got any party shots for the roundtable?
Man. We went a little long today, so I ain't gonna hold this thing up, man. Thank you everybody for hopping on here as always, messing around with me and Drew. Truly appreciate it. Look forward to everybody being back here on Friday so we can talk about these upcoming championship games in the different conferences.
Yes, sir. I echo those very same sentiments. Y'all have a safe and a blessed week, everyone. Make sure that you continue to drink your water. Stay in your lane. Keep your head on a swivel. Mind the business that minds you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And do something nice to somebody that you may not even know, because it just might be the best thing that happened to them and you on that very same day. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. We shall see y'all on Friday. Y'all be breezy.
Josh Allen is hurt, so he hurt his throwing hand, knee hurt, foot hurt. Gabe Davis went out. Shavers is out. His leading receiver is Shakir. I mean, it's an uphill battle. I mean, everybody, call him Superman. He definitely going to have to be Superman this week.
You're going to have to put Josh Allen off of the field to have somewhat of an impact. And that Denver defense does have the ability to shut Josh Allen down, but at the same time, Josh Allen can put up points on anybody. So it's going to require Bo Nix utilizing his legs. It's going to require the Denver having a well-balanced offense, running, passing game. And Sean Payton, being the coach that he is going to take the chance when he needs to take that chance, which again should secure the victory for the Broncos and send them to the AFC title game. How, Griff, do Purdy, CMC, Shanahan with his pads on, because he may have to come and run a play or two, go into the 12th man and outsmart Coach McDonald's version of the Legion of Boom in 2025 and steal this game from the heavily favored Seahawks?
You already know Seattle is going to come back in with the same recipe they done had the whole season. Apply as much pressure as they can to Purdy in the running game. Purdy can pick you apart, man. But that Seattle defense for me is the reason why Seattle will win. And like you said, Shanahan might have to come in and run a couple of plays because they just lost George Kittle last week. They might even have to pull some season ticket holders to come play. That Seattle defense is something serious. And plus they coming in probably as healthy as they've been all season.
Coach McDonald is a defensive guru. Now, granted, he does not have the playoff experience as the head coach as compared to Kyle Shanahan. So Kyle Shanahan does have that coaching edge there. But on the field, players over plays, bro. Players over plays. And this is how Seattle is going to win this game. This is the most exciting game of the weekend for me. I know you don't have that much faith in Caleb and them.
In this particular type of weather, and Stafford do what he do when he need to do, Chicago can't afford to come from behind on this team. They can do it on a couple of other teams, but this one right here, turnovers, definitely be a possibility, especially if it's snowing up there. I got the Rams, man. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I think if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And this week, all them late game heroics ain't going to happen this week. That's all I'm saying. And so, yeah, it's going to probably be a close game. It's probably going to be a turnover, but the turnover is going to be on the Bears side, not the Rams side.
We have the two best defenses, in my opinion, showing up to collide to see which defense is actually better than the other. CJ Stroud tried to mess it up last week by turning the ball over 5 times. Luckily, his team was able to recover 3 of those 5 turnovers.
The only chance the Texans got is their defense. And I know Mike is on here right now, and I know he's a Texans fan and all that stuff. But the reason why I just have no faith in the Texans. If we're talking about two teams, both of them got great defenses. I get an edge to the offense to the Patriots. The Patriots' offense is much better. Let me tell you something. Field goals will not win this game. The Texans going to need 2 scores from their defense, just like they needed it last week against the Steelers. They're going to need the same thing this time to win because they do not expect the offense to do much on the Texans side. And I'm calling it like it is.
Wow. The only chance they got is their defense.
The defense. I know y'all got y'all 100-yard game last week, man, and I commend y'all, but it ain't happening this week. I need Michael Irvin to put his belt back on. Belt the nothing